Jonah, good afternoon.
Hey, how's it going, Jim? How you doing, brother?
I am peachy keen. So how's the weather down there today?
Oh man, I'm usually it's nice and warm, but today, man, it's a little chilly, like 40 degrees right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I had seen last week that you guys were going to get a little bit of that what do they call that Canadian when we get those cold fronts that come down through Canada and they just keep reaching like a hand down deeper and deeper into the south.
Yeah, we're really taking that hard right now. I mean, we're projected to get snow next Tuesday. It's crazy, man.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
that'd be a nice little reprieve. It ought to last for what, all of half a day.
yeah, right. It'll be for about 30 minutes max.
Right. You'll have to get out there and start building your snowman really, really fast.
Yeah, exactly. I got to go get the materials, bucket and whatnot, just to make sure I have the tools needed. It's not going to last too long. I can already tell you that. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad to be on the Zoom call with you, brother. I think Devin should be joining us here. He's the founder. I wanted to have him in this call, so I'm just going to give us a few minutes here to let him.
That sounds good. So how did you get connected with the company and what's your role?
So my role, I was partnered with the company pretty recently. At the end of December, we really came to terms on our partnership, and I'm really just a source of acquisitions for Oxygen, and really trying to create a deeper partnership with them because I see a lot of potential in this tech company. And I mean, I'm sure you did too. At first glance, I can tell that you were a little reluctant, a little hesitant, and then you messaged me back asking to talk about the origination of the idea and whatnot, and that's what I see some interest there, and it is a real great opportunity. I'm sure you see that it's technology based, and I like to compare it to Open Door, right? So Open Door, like they disrupted the residential housing market in 2014 with their business model, the iBuyer business model, and now Oxygen. I don't see too many people doing it in multifamily, but Oxygen is at the forefront of it. They really have their self-established, still a startup though, startup since 2019, but they're real established in where they are right now. And that's where I see the opportunity and the potential to just blossom and grow to new heights. I mean, what they're doing is real innovative. It's great. That's why I want to have Devin on here to really talk about it at a high level and at a more deeper understanding for us here. So
yeah, when you first reached out, you're right. I didn't see anything that was interesting, but
yep.
but it was really because I didn't take the opportunity to research anything that you had going on. When I started looking at your profile and I clicked through to this particular piece of it, I am very, very interested in anything that is a paradigm shift from the way that we operate now. That is the essence of what what we're trying to do in 2021, and we're particularly interested in anything that's utilizing technology and AI and things like that to see if there's things that we can use, or work with. To try to implement those things into our business plan also.
100%. And yeah, Oxygen is at the forefront of technology here. And you're very much, I can tell you're very much associated with all the new trends and innovations that are going on right now. So this is definitely one of the biggest ones here. What Oxygen is doing, because I'm sure Open Door went public about towards the end of last year in December, and they're evaluated at a $14 billion company. It's crazy. That's the trajectory that I see Oxygen going at. If they're not multi-billionaires in 5 years, they're at least going to hit the multi-$100 million range. So I see a lot of great potential and opportunity here. Sorry, I'm gonna call. Give me one quick second. I need to take this.
No problem.
Yeah, one sec. Hey Gary, can I give you a call right back? I'll give you a call more towards 4 p.m. Eastern time. I was just wanted to give you a little ring just to see if I can catch you, but I'm in a meeting right now. Okay, got it. Good, brother.
Would you be able to post on the Slack channel and the calendar link in case anybody is interested in joining us?
Sure.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right. Devin, how's it going, man?
I was just going to ask, how do you pronounce, is it Devin or Devine? So,
It's a Devon. It's a short name of. I just condensed my name.
well, I appreciate that. That helps a lot for all of us challenged people with language. So I was just telling Jonah that I was not familiar with your company, did not know you were out there, and that we recently started a new project ourselves, a platform that we're very, very interested in AI and how that might be brought into the multifamily space and into the commercial real estate space overall, to be honest. But we're extremely interested to hear what you guys are doing and how you're doing it, and just hear your story more or less.
Very nice. So Devin, I was giving him an introduction on you and Oxygen, and sprucing you up over here and bragging. So I'll let you take the floor now, brother, and I'll let you introduce yourself and what we're all doing over here on Oxygen side.
Thank you, Jonah. Hey, Jim, and is that right? Am I getting it right?
Yeah.
All right. It's really a pleasure to meet with you guys. Essentially, what's happening is software is eating the world. More and more things which used to be offline are now becoming online in many streams. So you see now cars are becoming software, hotels are becoming software, and you probably keeping track of whatever is happening in the real estate ecosystem. There is this new breed of companies emerging. They call themselves as the iBuyers. Are you guys familiar with the term called iBuyers?
I'm familiar with the term, but I do not follow. I have a friend that works at Open Door, but to be quite honest with you, I have not been following their progress because it's in the single family realm, and I just don't pay much attention to what's happening on the single family side.
Great. So essentially, the Open Door company totally disrupted the business model of real estate transaction. The conventional model of real estate transaction is you want to sell your home, you look for a broker, you go through all the motions of selling the home. At the end of days on market, 92 or 120, you get cash in your pocket, which is sale price minus all the expenses to it. Now, this company, Open Door, disrupted the model. They said, you don't have to wait for the broker and go through 92 days of hassles. We will buy your property at the same price or better on which your broker is able to sell. So this company, by the way, now is a public NASDAQ listed company with a $14 billion market cap. And they are competing heavily with everything. So my company is trying to do the same thing for the multifamily ecosystem. You own a 98-unit property. It's located in, let's say, Jacksonville, Florida. Yes, you can take it through the regular mode of selling it. It will take you whatever time and lot of horse trading. Instead, you can sell it to my company called Oxygen, and we can use our own balance sheet to pay you the fair market value. And the way we are doing is that we are a technology company pretty much. So essentially bringing people from capital market, technology, and real estate ecosystem and trying to do it at the national level. Little bit of background about me, as you can tell, a bald guy from India, been in technology for a long time. Worked for the companies which market cap is $5 trillion, like worked for Microsoft, Oracle, and all those technology companies here in Silicon Valley. I ended up doing a couple of startups using AI and ML, and the last one we sold to a company called Microsoft. So I probably know a thing or two about AI and ML. Now we are like a Zillow, for example, but for multifamily. So on our website, we are displaying around 49,000 multifamily properties, representing around 33 million doors You can go to any city, find all the multifamily over there. It will tell you their location. It will tell you some basic characteristics of the property. And most importantly, it will show you the fair market value of that property. So that 98 unit property in Jacksonville would probably sell for, let's say it will sell for $7.29 million. And we use AI and ML to calculate all that stuff. But anyway, we are not selling technology here. We are selling a different experience for you to buy and sell multifamily. So that's a little long story about me and what this company is about.
So I'm curious about the model. You said that you're bringing in institutional money. So are you guys purchasing the property from the seller on the front end, or how does the institutional buyer come into the picture? Yeah.
So institutional buyers come in on both the sides. When we started, we thought we have to start at the lowest end of the ecosystem because we didn't have a lot of real estate experience. And as we are taking steps forward in this business, more and more portfolio companies are becoming interested in us because they hate listing their properties. They hate all the horse trading that comes with it. So if you are a portfolio company, you own, let's say 16 different assets in Sunbelt or wherever, we become your disposition arm. Meaning we never ask you, give us the listing and we are going to sell your property. No. Secretly, we will bring you the offers on your property without ever listing it. On the other side, we have on our platform, by the way, we are not a listing platform. We are like Uber that takes care of the highest value chain transaction for you. So on the other side, we have already qualified buyers on our platform with whom we have already secured their landing. We have done everything, whatever they need to do to be ready to get that deal. So we go up to the pennies on your deal, meaning we try to understand not just where you want to buy and what you want to buy. We also go to the extent saying, hey, if you're a syndicator, you are looking for 8% cash on cash and 14% IRR. This is the cap rate you are looking for. We match it exactly so that you don't have to underwrite 100 properties and end up buying only 2. We present you 5 properties and you get to buy 2 properties out of that. We are removing all this nonsense that comes with this entire transaction system. And we are able to do it because we have now double-sided marketplace.
So in your underwriting, how are you using AI to underwrite the deal, and how does that work in real time? If a buyer A, B, and C all have different criteria.
Yep. So underwriting a true and fair market value of the property has nothing to do what a specific buyer is thinking about that property, right? It is the property, and please pardon me if I'm not using the right terminology here. A multifamily property is bought and sold as a business. It has to be supported by the underlying financial performance along with a lot of other host of criteria. So based upon that, a lot of things which are specific property, what does the T12 look like? What is the history of this property? What are the properties selling around it? What is the cap rate there? There are at least 38 to 48 different criteria which are specific to the property, and then around 12 or 15 criteria which are specific to the economy and that specific location, where how many people are moving to Florida, for example. What is the growth rate of the income in that area? So we go down up to that level, and based upon that, we use the AI and ML to figure out what is the price fair market value of this property. That information, we don't need the T12 for it. We already know that because we have 33 million door information, we already know that if a property is located in Houston, Texas, and it is this location, the similar property, which are A-class, typically runs for this expense ratio. So we are able to do a lot of stuff and able to project a darn close fair market value, by the way. It's just the beginning, but we are pretty close.
So the platform also mentioned that that the deals are, pardon me if I misstated, but from my memory, the way it was stated that the deals are, these are deals that are ready to sell. The owners are ready to sell at a given price, and that they have been pre-vetted by lending. So the lending is already, the deal has already, for lack of a better word, has already received a term sheet, so that you know that it takes out the uncertainty as to whether or not it's going to qualify at that price point. So you've already received
So,
a term sheet?
yeah, yes and no. So the initial price that you see is without talking to a lot of people, it's all done by the machines. Once there is some level of interest, either from the seller or from the buyer, we start taking that property to a second level of underwriting. Then we vet that information, whatever we are getting from the seller. Then we do a second degree of underwriting on it. Then we present it to the buyer. And if there is a serious interest into it, then we take this underwriting and we do a complete investment banker driven or a bank driven underwriting that is around 20 different sheets into the spreadsheet. And we are building to automate it, but that requires few $1 million of investments, but we are working on it. Right now we do it using the spreadsheet. So that is our third stage of underwriting, because at the end of the day, your property can't rely exactly totally on the machines. For a deal to happen, it has to be totally supported and done using the spreadsheet. So yeah, eventually we would automate it, but not at the moment. But 99% work we are able to do for all the properties using the machines.
So how are you getting the properties on the platform? Are you reaching out to the individual owners and seeing, if they're interested in selling, or have they describe that process to me? So, and is there a negotiating piece to this, or is it like Carvana, where look, the owners agreed to sell at this price. If you agree to buy at this price, the transaction is done. Otherwise, move on to the next deal.
Yeah. So combination of everything, whatever you said, plus much more. At the end of the day, we are presenting our company called Oxygen as a alternative for you to be able to buy and sell properties. We are not saying just go with us. We are saying you can continue to work the way you are, but just give us a chance. Our system don't force you. So if you own a property, and people are believing us, by the way, because we are fair, we are transparent, we remove all the nonsense, and we work in your interest. So let's say you might have a property. We don't say, give us the listing, then we talk to you. No, you come to us, we do all the work for you free of cost. You don't have to list the property with us. We secretly bring the offer to you. That means, so to answer a question, we are doing all of the above. We are going to large portfolio companies, and we have the relationship now with large title companies, 1031 exchange providers. Our systems work with their systems. So we have a lot of big ecosystem getting created. And luckily, I thought we can only do one state, but guess what? We have pretty much everywhere, and it's making a lot of sense, because you might own a property in Texas, but you might be selling that property and moving to Florida. So you need a 1031 exchange. So these owners have properties pretty much all across the place. So we are able to put a lot of pieces of puzzle for them. They don't need to look for two different brokers in two different states. We are just one-stop shop for everything. We are not as big, but hope to get big at some point.
And to interject here real quick for
Please.
you, Jim. So Devin previously stated there's qualification processes in what we do. So when we get a potential off-market multifamily deal from a seller, when we get to that stage, we're actually in contact with them. We don't present it to our buyers unless we make sure that the price is at a fair market value. So it is a little bit like Carvana, where when we present to you the deal at the price point that we've come to an agreement on with the seller, it's pretty much that price is going to be the definitive price. And if there's room for negotiation, yes, sorry about that. Yes, we'll have that conversation. But most of the times we've already done the legwork and we've already underwritten it to where it's actually a fair market value and the right investor will pick it up.
So does the model provide a look into underwriting or a typical OMT12
Yes.
rent roll type thing? What does it look like?
Yes, we provide you, if you are sourcing a property from Oxygen, we provide you your complete underwriting of that property. We provide you the lender, everything, whatever you guys need, depending upon your capabilities. So we help you to, because the people in this industry, there are so many people they need to talk to. You need to talk to your attorney to do your LLC and PPM and subscription. In our case, if you buy the property from Oxygen, it comes free. It's done by the lawyers. So our idea is to become, we don't charge anything additional. We don't charge $15,000 for those 3 documents for your, we are providing a lot more things that a broker would not provide you. We probably have our relationship with Chase Bank or whoever, depending upon your qualification. So before you come on board as a buyer to us, we take you through the very rigorous qualification process. And guys, guess what? You can mess up with hundreds of brokers because you have another 500 brokers to work with. With Oxygen, it's only one company. So we care and basically hope that you play fair with Oxygen. Likewise, if you mess up with us, then probably we are going to shut our door on you, and you are probably going to miss out on a basically big opportunity. So if you are fair, we can get you the deal. Yes, both sides.
So do we have to use your lender?
No. We legally we cannot force to basically use our lender, but what happens is that as you are working with Oxygen, we can provide you, if you have your own lender, great, our job is easier. If you don't have your lender, you're looking for the help, then we come and tell you, hey, why don't you basically get yourself qualified? Because there are so many tire kickers in this industry and we don't have time to waste on that. We did waste a lot of time on them. Now we know what we are looking for and how we are able to provide value to you.
So Devin, did I hear you correctly in that you said that for syndicators that you have, I seen that you have Kim on your advisory board. So it comes with a PPM and an operating agreement, or?
Yeah, if you are looking for one, we can provide you free of cost, no charge to you.
So typically in a syndication, we will have the SEC attorney, which would be Kim, but we'll also need an operating agreement put together in addition to the PPM, and also typically 2 LLCs formed, one for the property and one for the management company, and then typically a closing attorney for the actual closing. So how much of that is included in your platform?
All of it, and you forgot there is something called a subscription agreement document is also needed. So
yes,
all of it, yes. Our idea is to have a Costco kind of model. Costco, you get only few things, but we already pre-negotiated the prices for you. That means, and we are trying to bring all that value to you. So if your deal is, let's say, very small, then probably it's not worth our time. But if the value, if the deal is the right amount of deal, then we bring all these things. And our idea is to wow you with our experience so that you never think of anybody else in future. And once you do one multifamily, you know you're hooked onto it. We just need a bigger property, 1031 exchange, more people. So you focus on what you are good at, meaning raising the money and taking the properties forward. Leave buying and selling load to Oxygen. We will take care of that for you. All right, so that's enough of me talking. Jim, tell me a little bit about you guys and what you guys are thinking.
Well, the reason I was interested in talking to you, Devin, is that we've started a new platform very recently. We've had the idea bouncing around in our head for quite a long time, and there was a lot of things that we wanted to do that weren't being done in the industry. And to be quite honest with you, when I stumbled upon your website, thanks to Jonah, you're doing exactly one of the things that we were very, very interested in trying to implement, particularly using AI, to not necessarily in the way that you used it, but we wanted to use it to help underwriting and to get rid of a lot of the basic grunt work, and have the machine do the heavy lifting of all the data entry type stuff, and then we could have human eyeballs once it gets to a high level. And so that was very, very interesting to me when I seen that you guys were doing it. But also, once I got on your site and started looking around, I just became a lot more fascinated in some of the other pieces that you were doing and bringing. And I love shortcuts. I love efficiency and trying to find multiple paths to the same destination. And it seems that you have a lot of those same thoughts in your head based upon what you guys are doing on the website. So, our little space, the GOB network of apartment investors, it was started to try to democratize or to use the freemium open source model to bring it to the real estate, the commercial real estate in particular, multifamily, because that's what I know best. But we wanted to apply it to all of real estate, but that's where we're starting because most of my network are apartment investors. So that's kind of what we're doing and what we're working on. And I love what you guys are doing. I was looking on your site trying to find a mission statement because I almost feel like, just based upon what you're doing, that our mission statements or vision statements are probably very similar.
Yeah, no, I'm very, very happy and humbled to hear from an expert like you who think what we are creating is a thing of value to your ecosystem. And as I mentioned to you, our idea is not to create one little company. Our idea is to create a company that's going to do billions very soon. That is the idea. And the time has come where there is enough of frustration in the people in this industry. So that's what our company is about. So tell me a little bit more about your GOB, and I don't even know the term. What does it stand for? So I would love to hear that.
Well, actually, the the term is we are Are you familiar with the term appropriating someone else's culture or appropriating an idea?
Absolutely.
So the Good Old Boys Network has I'm from the South, and it has two very specific meanings. One, if you can remember the Dukes of Hazzard TV show from back in the 70s, it just describes Southern culture and Southern people that just want to have fun and live an easy life. But the bigger understanding of the word is smoke-filled rooms, private clubs, deals that get done that are not open to the public. They're not open to normal people, and you have to be a member of that club. And I've never been a member of that club. I grew up very poor in the South and in orphanages and foster homes, and so I want to kind of sneak in the back door of the country club and get into that club that we'll never be invited into. I just want to bring a whole big old bunch of people in there where they can't say no, and we want to democratize that and make those kind of private deals available to anyone who's interested in investing, particularly in apartments. And so that was the genesis of the name. But who we are primarily apartment investors and also primarily syndicators. We don't, we have some people that have some smaller holdings of their own, but the vast majority of us syndicate the deals that we do. And starting out really as the beta test for the program was to concentrate on smaller deals under 5 million, and also concentrate on people that were new to the industry, that were trying to break into the industry, that possibly hadn't done a deal yet or had only done a few deals. And so try to educate them and provide them with the tools and resources that they need to get a deal done. So bring together the net worth, liquidity, the agency debt experience, and things that they need to get deals done that they may be missing, one or more of those items.
I'm loving what I'm hearing, and we are all for it. That's the whole, the technology is the biggest thing that is democratizing things, as you know. It's no longer the case where I need to have my relationship with the top broker in Orlando of the CBRE. And if the deal is $20 million and up, I'm never going to get it unless it's passed upon by 100 people. Technology is kind of enabling all of that. So I'm loving what I'm hearing, and whatever you have a suggestion, and I don't know if you've seen, maybe you guys can show us some of your stuff, or maybe Jonah can demo to you some of the things, and I think Jonah can explain. He spoke with somebody in your group, and she was fascinated. Jonah, you want to just talk about that a little bit?
Right, yeah, Caitlin, right? Caitlin was part of the GOB?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so you're familiar with Caitlin. Yeah, I'm talking on a real deep level with Caitlin. And originally, when we first told her about Oxygen and our business, she was real excited. She sees the value in it. She's a part of your network in your group, and she sees that Oxygen is a player that can be working right alongside you guys. So you've seen our website. I can demonstrate some of the inner workings of what the website can do for y'all here, but I'm more interested in hearing more about what you guys and what y'all's platform is doing on here. So I can most definitely show you all the tools and nicks and nannies that really excited Caitlin on our website. Like, for example, our ballpark estimate underwriting is like real preliminary, as a real preliminary tool for investors to go on and find out like estimated ballpark numbers of what a deal is going to look like for them. So those kinds of things on our website, those free of charge tools that people can use, those are the things that are really exciting people like Caitlin, these newcomers in the multifamily industry. These amenities are real, they're real attractive because they're easy to use. And like you said, it's AI, it's automated. You don't have to do too much thinking. You just plug some numbers in, press calculate, and you got exactly what you're looking for. So yeah, most definitely we can look at our website, but I want to hear more about what y'all's platform is looking like. Do you have a website or something where your people can go on and kind of like?
Yeah, in the early stages, we've got a website under development, and it is the gobnetwork.com, but it's just a splash page right now. It's still being built, but the platform resides on a Google Drive right now. And basically, it's just a set of tools and resources to try to help create some of the shortcuts, if you will, and efficiencies to help people get to that, the ability to get a deal faster or sooner. And like I said, just help them overcome. So we try to be a landing place for people to come and network together. We also have a Slack channel that we use to communicate with each other, and try to help people facilitate relationships that they need in order to get their deals done. So we have everything from, I'm sorry, say again, Jonah?
Sorry to cut you off there real quick, but the Slack is another thing that I wanted to point out. So how does an investor go about actually joining your Slack channel? Do you like reach out to them, or is there like a form online that you push out to your LinkedIn and your socials, or how much marketing are you doing to your Slack channel?
None. It's strictly word of mouth.
Okay.
And the beta test for me, I gave myself 6 months and I was working just one-on-one with individual to individual.
Right.
And because of the idea, I mean, if you think about how quickly something like this, when it's open source, I oftentimes tell everyone that we're trying to use the Wikipedia model, where anyone can write an article and everyone is responsible for editing that article. So that is its fundamental strength, but it's also its fundamental weakness. And so we do rely on that, and we believe in that, or also the Linux open source, coding, and so we're looking for all of that. And I am a big believer that that hive mind will help me solve all the problems that I'm looking to solve. Because me as an individual, if I try to build a company out the way you guys are, I'm going to have, so many partners, so many employees, and it's going to take so much time. And, aside from the fact that I'm 63 and I don't have that much time, I'm also not that smart, so I need to surround myself with very smart people. And the best way to do that, I think, is to use that hive mind mentality that Wikipedia used, that Mozilla uses with Firefox, or that Linux uses in their operating system. And so we've been growing strictly by word of mouth. It's by invitation only. So when somebody has a friend that they think can add value to the platform, it's a free platform. It doesn't cost anything financially, but there is a cost. I'm looking for go-givers. I'm looking for people that have the same mindset, and that are looking to grow within the industry, and they're not looking to profit from teaching or profit from selling a tool. They're looking to profit from actually investing in apartment complexes.
100%. You're looking for self-motivated individuals. So with that said, what is the cost to get into it, and how many people are like members a part of GOB?
So there's no financial cost to get in. The cost is you basically are agreeing that you are a go-giver, that you're going to leave more on the platform than you take from it.
Okay.
And so to that Wikipedia model again, how are we determining if you are a go-giver? We're not, but we're keeping our eyes open for people that are not go-givers. And we are going to depend on the crowd to police the people that are not go-givers off of the platform. So similar to what Devin said earlier, when you start taking advantage of the platform, then we're going to ask you politely to leave.
Yeah, so essentially, I got the picture, and thank you for dumping your mindset. And essentially, you are the person who believes a lot into universal law of attraction, law of cause and effect, perhaps, and the universal law of karma, isn't it? If you give enough, the universe is going to align their vibrational frequency to bring much more to you. It's just that people just get bogged down to what is not good in the world, and they start focusing on that, and that they end up getting more of what they're focusing on, right? So I totally get it, and that's the reason. As far as Oxygen is concerned, I said to you, day one, you don't care about what technology Amazon is using or what technology Uber is using. You care about, can you get me my product to my home fastest possible manner, the cheapest price, and you have the biggest catalog. That's exactly the idea about the Oxygen. We don't intend to make any money from the technology, but guess what? Its technology is the enabler where, as I said, we worked for 3 years on it, by the way. 3 years was in making. Representing $33 million is not an easy job, by the way. And I did not even break my sweat, by the way, to make it happen. I'm breaking my sweat now to take this thing out to the people. And because we are very systematic in our approach, and so we are happy to, in case you see any value to it, leverage it, use it. We don't need anything back. Hopefully people can get a lot more deals done using our system, because they probably don't have $12,000 per year to pay to CoStar for the data for one MSA on on our website, we have the data for the entire USA that represent almost 164 MSAs.
So Devin,
feel free to do it.
I'm curious about the data sets that go into a lot of the AI analysis. I had assumed that the biggest pieces to that were probably Yardi Matrix and CoStar and the IREM annual income and expense data sets that are out there. So is that correct?
Yeah, you got it. Our system talks to Stuart Title, escrow company. I don't know if you heard about them.
Yeah.
So our system talks to their system, and a lot of stuff happens. Plus all of the things you said. Plus a lot of newcomers in the system, like Reonomy, the apartments.com. You just name it. I mean, what we have created so far is just a prototype or proof of concept, which is good enough for people to do the work. Now imagine once we put the next layer into it, that we would, because I thought it will take me a lot longer, but transactions have starting to happen. So in real estate, the good part is money comes as soon as transaction happens. You don't have to wait for 5 years to get the profitability, right? So as I said, a lot of data sets, and believe me, when it comes to the technology, we will do it. We will do it like Apple. We will do it like Amazon.
So on the underwriting, you have the underwriting that's being performed. You said you are transparent with the underwriting and show that. When we are looking at your underwriting or the machine's underwriting, are we looking at a PDF file, or are we looking at an Excel spreadsheet? What does that look like?
Yeah, so the first level of underwriting is all automated. We call them the ballpark estimate or back of the envelope calculation. And if you like, for the audience, for the purpose of benefit of audience over here, Jonah can demo that to you very quickly in a couple of minutes. So that is all you basically see at the first level. When it goes down to the level when we are ready to transact on the property, that time you are going to see a very 20-page gigantic spreadsheet with it.
Okay, so the spreadsheet then we'd be able to see your because, and I hate using this phrase, but I think that it makes the point. In our industry, numbers are easily manipulated to make them say what you want them to say. There's an old expression where I come from that says that liars figure and figures lie. And so it's very important to know exactly how you arrived at the number and what formula that you used in that particular instance. So is that all transparent?
You are absolutely right, and mathematics don't lie, but the assumptions do lie. Everybody get excited. I can raise the rent by $100. I have 112 units. I get $112,000 rent upside multiplied by 20 because 5% cap rate. Guess what? $2.5 million added on day one. But the fact of the matter is, what it will take you to get the increase of $100 per month, people forget all that. So as I said, our systems are very, very much driven by what we call it, with a lot of data that we have. We already know that what happened to this property. We maintain cap rate at a city level, by the way. So we can give you the cap rate. Houston, infill, class A property, class A location, based upon the square feet, here is the cap rate that nobody has, by the way. So the point is, we are building all these things. Again, we are not charging anything for it. To answer a question, we will show you some spreadsheet, and we say just the starting point for you. You take it, or you can convert it into your own, or you can use your own data. Our idea is to remove all the traps which comes when buying and selling the property for you. If it makes sense.
It makes total sense to me. So the question I always get from people that are interested in joining our platform is, what's in it for me?
Yeah.
and because I'm not charging anything for it, for the platform itself and all the tools and resources and connections. And so, obviously, I think I stated earlier, but I'll restate, what's in it for me is I expect to find partnerships and be able to profit off of the actual asset and that business income that it throws off. And I don't expect to partner with everyone, but I expect that the more I give, I love the fact that you use the word karma. I believe in that abundance mentality, that the more I give, that I'll be given opportunities to invest alongside other people on deals. So I guess the same question I would ask of you guys is, you're not charging the user on our end for the platform. So are you charging the sellers, or what's in it for you? How are you making money?
Yeah, so we make money. So essentially, to answer the first part of the question, our idea is that if we provide free tools and the data and the technology to the people, so many of your audiences might be completely beaten up, meaning they never get their call back from these brokers. They never get the properties from all these people. Those people can feel a little more empowered, meaning they don't have to plead or beg from this person, give me the information. That information is available to them free of cost. Now, what we are hoping that as they get used to of using this information, they will make better decisions. They won't fall into the traps. And by the virtue of making some kind of better decisions, eventually they would start transacting on the properties. And we believe that maybe out of 100 properties these people are transacting, they will come to us for maybe 5 or 10 properties. That is big enough for us. So that's what we are trying to do now. How we make money on the spread of the property, which is way less than a seller has to pay to a broker to sell the property. Are you with me?
So there's a seller's fee off of
it is the exact same model as the open door. So if you sell a property through a broker, you will sell for $10 million. To Oxygen also, you would sell the property at $10 million, but when you sell through the broker, it might cost you 5% to cost it. So cash in your pocket is $9.5 million. If you sell through Oxygen, the sale price of the property is still $10 million. Our convenience fee is going to be lower than what is your convenience fee. So you might net $9.7 million. Because we are way efficient, we are using technology, we have a lot of these things already curated with us. So our cost of transacting on that property is way less than a broker who just like to make 2 deals and always go to Hawaii and have fun. So that's how we make money.
So would you say that you are a 23rd century broker?
I would say,
will Oxygen kind of
yeah.
replace that model? Is that what you're seeing?
Yes, sir. So we are if you understand the capital market terminology, we are disintermediating the brokerage business. It is same as Uber. Uber is a technology company or a taxi company. You can call it whatever you want. We are focused on solving the end user problems. We don't care about what people call us. At the end of the day, our idea is to own this entire value chain transaction and do the transaction ourselves to help you do that. That is the idea. So I don't want to call ourselves as a broker or something. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We want you to have a better experience of transacting on the properties.
Yeah, I agree. I really don't care what people call us. If they think we're a training company, fine, they can call us a training company.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm more interested in really just having a paradigm shift in the industry and changing the way it works now. And I'm really just concerned in transactions. And it seems like we have a lot of synergies in that regard. And I don't know how we might be able to work together, but I foresee that, one of my keen interest in AI is that the more data you give it, the better that it becomes. The faster it learns. And so we envision that we are never going to for lack of a better word, we're never going to trash any information. So when we underwrite deals right now, we're doing it the old-fashioned way. So we're receiving an OEM, a T12, a rent roll, and then we're getting boots on the ground to go tour the property and take pictures and videos and, you know, all the normal way of doing things. But when we find that the deal doesn't work, we don't just trash all that information. Instead, we're cataloging, saving it, and whether the deal works or doesn't work. And we try to get as many different people to underwrite it. We like to have at least 3 different sets of eyeballs underwrite the deal, because everyone's going to see a different opportunity in the deal. They're going to underwrite it slightly differently. And so we want to aggregate that underwriting so that we arrive at what we consider to be a much higher level of underwriting if we decide to put an LOI on that property. But whether we win or lose, we keep that data. And if we win, or if someone else wins, we then also want to save their pitch deck that they sent to the investors, to the LPs. We want to save their webinars and their pro formas and their business plans, so that 3 years from now, when it becomes available again, or 5 years, it comes back up for sale, we have all that historical data to see if they met their business plan or not, and whether or not their business plan was a valid business plan, whether or not the ideas behind it worked, and how much of it they implemented. They said they were going to put on new roofs. Did they put on new roofs? They said they were going to build a dog park. Did they build a dog park? Yes, they did. They said they'd get $25 bump in rent. Did they get $25? So all of that historical data, we think in a 3 to 5 year time span, we'll have an enormous amount of data to feed into an AI that right now, no one has that kind of data. You know, CoStar doesn't provide that. Reonomy doesn't provide that. Even the IREM expense and income statement, it has pieces of it. But if you put all of those together, they're still missing the business plan. They're still missing the underwriting. You know, there's still a lot of data there to be gathered that I think is very valuable data. And that's why we're trying to save it. And I want an AI that I can feed all that data into. So that's kind of our vision for where we're going with AI, what we want.
It makes perfect sense that once you start collecting that enormous amount of data, then you can digitize it and track it on basically timely manner, what's going to happen. Only thing is, what you are aiming for is not an easy task. Let me put it that way. It would require enormous amount of capital and the manpower to basically get it done. So absolutely.
Yeah, and my vision, to be honest with you, is I know I don't have the capital to do it. And that's also a big reason that I'm choosing to use that Linux operating system model, that open source. Right now, I have probably a dozen people that are in the IT industry on the platform, but I've not convinced anyone yet to pick up the mantle of trying to implement any of these ideas. So, but it's something that I'm constantly talking about because I see the power in the idea. And the fact that you're already way down the road from where we are or where we want to be, you're implementing a lot of those things already. So I'm super excited to have met you, and I definitely want to keep the lines of communication open and be able to present your platform. I probably want to schedule a follow-up call, because this one was really last minute, and I literally just posted it on the Slack channel after we already got on the call, and thank goodness a few of the guys were available and jumped on. But I'd like to do it again and let you guys really just kind of present your platform to a little bit bigger audience, and see if we can work together. And I would love for that to become a much more integrated partnership, with you guys, but we'll see where it goes. You know, I know that you guys are, you've got a lot of partners, you know, that I recognize already on your advisory board, but you know, I don't know that.
Who do you hate the most?
No, no, I recognize Kim, and we've worked with Kim before. A matter of fact, she's doing a deal for us right now out in Tulsa that we're closing in a couple of weeks. And Vinny's
Awesome.
actually, Vinny's coming out onto our meetup to, you know, do a presentation. You know, and you know how Vinny is. He's
Oh
going
yeah,
to be.
Winnie. Yeah, Winnie just live near me, and we meet often and all that. So yeah,
Yeah. Do you,
absolutely.
there's some other people that are also, I think, very interested in disrupting, using technology to disrupt this industry. And it's a very stodgy industry. It doesn't like change. And so I'm very excited that there's so much happening. Really, the last 12 months, it just seems like I'm finding so many people that are trying to disrupt the industry. So, you know, you guys, we just had Cam, I can't remember Cam's last name. He lives out in California. Where are you from, Devin? Where do you live?
I'm in Palo Alto area of California.
Okay. So I think Cam is down, I want to say he's down by San Diego, but another gentleman that we are talking to, Badri with Avestor, they're trying to, you know, that investor portal piece of the industry, you know, that those guys are trying to bring some disruption technology to that. So super excited about where things are going, but I can schedule something out for when, you know, whatever works for you guys. Just let me know. And if you want to, you know, do a presentation, or if you want to speak to a larger audience, just let me know what that looks like.
Absolutely, would love to do that. So can you just give me a little sense of the kind of audiences you have and what has been their deal deal making capabilities?
Well, we've got right now on our platform, and the platform, by the way, is right now we're right at 3 months old, and we've been growing quickly. I think the last time I checked a couple of days ago, we're probably about 250 investors right now. I haven't polled. It's one of the things that I had planned on doing from a marketing standpoint, is to poll all of the investors on the platform right now to see what the total assets under management are and what the total number of doors, you know, under management right now. So it would be disingenuous for me to tell you how many because I don't know. But if I had to hazard a guess, I would guess that all the people on the platform right now, probably between 3,000 and 7,000 doors would be my guess. You know, but I really don't know.
That's a lot. Okay, cool. So hey, Daryl and David, you guys have any questions? Sorry, we didn't mean to ignore you guys.
Yeah. No, yeah, and please speak up, Daryl or David, if you guys have any questions that I haven't asked.
No, actually, I know I came in late, but Jim really asked the several questions that I was going to ask, because I went to the page before you had posted it. I just searched out oxygen. I wanted to see a little more about it and read the about statement, but Jim already had already took care of that. But you know, Jim, I think what may be nice too, so that they could get an idea of what we're doing. How about if Devin, and I don't know, Jonah looks so familiar to me. Like I've seen him before or I've talked with him, but he looks very familiar. But anyway, Devin, maybe they would be, maybe they would like to come to one of our meetings on Tuesday.
Where are you guys located? Where do you guys have your meetings at?
It's a meetup.
Virtual.
All virtual.
All virtual.
Yeah, because we're from, if you look at those 200 people, they're from all over the United States.
Yeah.
And also we've got a chapter that is starting in China, one in Beijing and one in Hong Kong.
Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure because I know Caitlin's here, based out of Houston, where I am. So I didn't know if you guys had any local meetings that you would sit down with your people or whatnot, like Caitlin here in Houston's. Because if so, I definitely be coming. But no, yeah, virtual meetings, 100%. Me and Devin would love to do a little demonstration for you guys, and I think that'd be real beneficial for us.
Well, why don't you guys, I mean, I can give you, Jonah, my calendar link, and you can look at that and find something that works, you know, for Devin and for you also. And but I'd like for it to be at least a week out, so that I have an opportunity to see if you know, I want to get the word out to everyone, because it's you know, we are a volunteer organization. In other words, you don't have to listen to all the chatter on Slack if you don't want to. You don't have to gather around the water cooler. You don't have to come into work every day. You know,
Right.
so
Yeah.
for some people, it
By
takes.
the way, yeah. No, I was about to say Slack and Zoom. I had meeting with the CEO of both the companies. They wanted to buy my startup. Because imagine you are in a Slack channel. There are 7 people in the Slack, and you just say, my company name was Wizkel, schedule the meeting for next week, and that software will do the whole thing for you. We already knew that you are a volunteer. You generally can listen to this only after 5 p.m. every time. So we were optimizing the calendars, and Slack was very interested, and Zoom. Now Zoom is a gigantic company. When we were working, Zoom was not that big. So I totally get the picture.
Yeah, yeah, it's going to definitely be disruptive, and I love where it's going. But so, did you guys have, Devin, a mission statement or a vision statement on your website?
Everything is on the website, and we actually, you know, at the end of the day, it is your act that matters. I'm not discounting the fact that there should not be a mission statement. Our mission statement is that we really want to do a paradigm shift the way people buy and sell multifamily. And it means we are combining the people from capital market, technology, and real estate ecosystem to provide you a ultimate customer experience of buying and selling multifamily real estate. By the way, feel free to modify it. I don't care. To be honest with you, I don't care about it. I just care about that. Can we really solve the problem that these buyers and sellers are running into? And I am obsessed with the customer experience. I'm obsessed with trying to understand what is the real pain point, and can we remove these, for example, these whole travel agents have disappeared, right, in last 15 years. Probably same thing is going to happen to real estate industry maybe in 10 years. So you better be side with and have the seat on the table with a technology company. It could be us, it could be Open Door, it could be somebody else.
So Devin, I'm curious, you know, obviously you have a very strong background in technology, but you decided to implement it in real estate. So what caused you to implement it into real estate? Are you also an investor?
Yeah, so my story is after selling my startup. By the way, I came from extremely poor conditions. I grew up in a town that did not have food to eat. The whole town did not have food to eat in India. And when you think of that kind of poverty, you just can't imagine. It's meaning you're seeing those Rwanda and Haiti kind of poverty. Anyway, but I was brilliant in study somehow and ended up getting into one of the best engineering college in India. By the way, Google CEO is from my college. Microsoft CEO is from my college.
There's a pattern here.
So anyway, after that I thought, man, I'm done for money. I traveled around the world, went to all the imaginative places. We started running half marathons, almost ran 20, 30 of those. Then I checked myself into a monastery in India for 11 months. I was completely cut off from the world. I was doing yoga for 14 hours a day. That changed my complete mindset. So when I came back, I thought, which industry is not yet disrupted by the technology? I started taking a look and I thought, aha, real estate industry is still pretty much the same. What it was 30 years back, 50 years back. Yes, there is MLS, but hey, fundamentally things have not changed. And I thought, okay, the customer satisfaction bar into this industry is so freaking low. Even if I can raise it a little bit, we have a lot of business. So that was the reason we started. Hey guys, let's go to work. Let's do this.
So I have another call that I've got to jump on. So I just want to say how much I appreciate you guys, what you're doing, how you're doing it, and the fact that you took time out of your day to speak with us. It means a lot to me. I really appreciate it.
Most
As I
definitely.
said, we are very humbled. We are very humbled with your willingness and desire to work with us, and we are all for democratizing it. So if it can, people can use it, people can give us the feedback, what is good about it, tell us what is bad about it, so that we can fix it and make it useful for you.
Well, I definitely would be very interested in Devin showing you what we're doing, and I'll send you like a welcome letter from the GOB network that you and Jonah both can look and see what we're doing. But very interested in seeing how we might be able to help you guys. And to be honest with you, it seems kind of one-sided to me at this point that you guys are able to help us a lot more. But I think in the long run, the power of what we're putting together, I think we could provide a lot of value in the future, and hopefully in the very near future, because it is growing faster than I had anticipated. So I really look forward to some synergies and working together with you guys.
Absolutely.
100%.
Looking forward to it.
100%. We hope to accelerate and exponentially increase the growth for both of us here.
That sounds like an absolute good plan to me, John.
Yep.
All right, guys, I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you.